Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we are looking at UPI, the effects of childhood lead exposure can carry over into old age, researchers find. So you might be thinking, well, as a child I didn't get exposed to lead, I'm doing fine, I'm not having any problems. But then you start to have maybe brain fog, or you start to see some development issues. And that begs the question, was I exposed to lead as a child? Was lead in my environment? And is it carrying over into my older ages? As I age, am I starting to see some problems? And could that be due to lead? Well, let's take a look. Cognitive functioning is worse in older adults who are exposed to lead contamination during childhood than those who are not exposed. And as we know, if you're a child, infant, and you're exposed to lead, that can cause serious development problems, lower IQ, lower cognitive functioning, and it can even cause more detrimental effects such as organ failure. Now, the study which found no association between childhood lead exposure and the rate of cognitive decline appeared Wednesday in Science Advances, a journal of the American Association for Advancement of Science, and the Flint, Michigan water crisis from 2014 to 2016 reignited concern about lead toxicity in drinking water, which can cause permanent damage in developing brains of children, but is much less known about its long-term consequences, the scientists said. The new findings have widespread implications, and an estimated 170 million Americans alive today, more than half the U.S. population, were exposed to high levels of lead as a child or as children. 170 million is something to definitely be concerned about. Now, you can be exposed to lead in a number of different ways, through soil, through the air, through older homes, but one way that definitely happens is through water. And also their findings germinate to public health concerns about American children born during the 1960s, 70s, and 80s were exposed to historically unprecedented levels of lead via lead gasoline and other sources. And these cohorts had blood levels on average 3 times the current reference, a measurement used to identify children with blood lead levels higher than most children's levels, and within the next 10 to 20 years, they will enter ages which dementia risk is heightened. So you might ask, how does lead affect seniors? Well, it seems that there is a strong connection with dementia, Alzheimer's, cognitive decline in seniors who are exposed to heavy metals. And lead is one of the most dangerous, if the most not dangerous, heavy metal, as there is no safe amount of lead as opposed to copper or iron. And this creates an urgent need for more research to better understand the lifelong implications of childhood exposure on brain aging, find effective interventions to mitigate long-term damage among people at high risk, the researchers said. So, what does this really come down to? The study's results suggest about 1/3 of associations between childhood lead exposure and later lost cognition is accounted for by the person's level of education attainment, the scientists said. That being said, I think there is definitely something to be said for childhood lead exposure, and if it doesn't affect you or you don't notice any effects, that it can carry over into older ages, and it can potentially cause some cognitive decline faster. That's why if you're younger, or particularly if you're older, it's still always a good idea to have your water periodically tested.